Hi! In today's lesson, we'll study factoring, and we will see what is the monomial common factor. Factoring is the process to find the factors of an expression. It's like splitting an expression into a multiplication of simpler expressions. You have already worked with a similar process in arithmetic when you factored a number into its prime factors. Just as low numbers can be factored, so too can algebraic expressions be factored. Factoring is a useful skill to learn for solving basic algebra problems. It can be used to simplify algebraic expressions to make solving simpler. There are several cases to factor an algebraic expression. We will study three of them: the difference of squares, monomial common factor, and quadratic form for ax squared plus bx plus c. In this video, we will study what is the monomial common factor. The greatest common factor in integers is the greatest number that is a factor of both numbers. So if we have 18 and 12 as in this example, the greatest common factor is the greatest number that can divide both of them. One way to find the greatest common factor, or GCF, is to see which are the factors that both numbers have in common. In this case, 2 and 3 are the common factors, so the GCF of 12 and 18 is 6. The process is very similar when you need to find the monomial common factor of two or more monomials. If we write the complete factorization of each monomial and we find the common factors, then the monomial common factor will be the product of all the common factors. Notice that in this example, the monomial common factor is the GCF of 10 and 4, followed by the variable raised to the second power, that is, the smallest exponent of a on both terms. We will learn how to factor out common factors from polynomials, but first we need to make a review of how the distributive property works. Look at the example. We can use the distributive property to find the product of 3a squared times 2a minus 3 as shown below. Notice how each term in the binomial was multiplied by a common factor of 3a squared. Factoring the monomial common factor is the reverse of this process. So here's my expression. Your first step to factor it would be getting the greatest common factor of the coefficients. In this case, the GCF of 6 and 9 is 3. After this, we should identify the common variables, that is, the ones that both terms have. In this case, both terms have an a. Consider the smallest exponent of that variable. In this case, it's 2. So, write it down. Now, between parentheses, write the answer of the division of each term from the original expression over the monomial common factor that you found. So, you must first divide 6a cubed over 3a squared, and your answer would be 2a. Then, we should divide minus 9a squared over 3a squared, and your answer would be minus 3. These divisions can be done mentally, but I want you to see clearly what's going on during the full process. This is my final answer. As you can see, we have split the original expression into a product of two simpler expressions. Very easy, right? Let's take a look to a different example. Your first step to factor it would be getting the greatest common factor of the coefficients. In this case, the GCF of 12 and 18 is 6. After this, you should identify the common variables, that is, the ones that both terms have. As you can see, A is not a common variable, so we won't consider it. As both terms have a B, we'll consider the smallest exponent of it. In this case, it is 3, so write it down. Now, between parentheses, write the answer of the division of each term from the original expression over the monomial common factor that you found. So, you must first divide 12ab cubed over 6b cubed, and your answer would be 2a. Then we should divide minus 18b raised to the 5th power over 6b cubed, and the answer would be minus 3b squared. This is my final answer. As you can see again, we have split the original expression into a product of two simpler expressions. Great guys, we're done. Very easy lesson, right? There are other factoring cases we still need to study. We'll check that in the next videos. Don't forget to watch the tutorial again in case you still have questions. See you!